Sports presents.
Another beautiful day in the SIZZLE neighborhood. I am your host, not Mr. Rogers. No, I'm Jay Sizzle, and he's G Sizzle. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, bro? How you feeling today?
Man, I had that heat wave going on out there, man. Did not have a scarf tied around my neck like it was a noose. And I felt free and easy today. I was out there enjoying the weather.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day today when you got highs near 45 degrees.
Yeah,
it is
balmy.
Amazing.
Balmy.
Yo, man, let's get ready to start this show up, though. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219, the hottest talk in the 219. You know what we've come to do. We've come to talk about the Chicago Bulls. Oh, my baby. Oh, we got some hot news. But let's get to the Chicago Bulls versus the Sacramento Kings. Yo, the Chicago Bulls have been doing their thing lately, and nobody has been talking about them doing their thing, Jay Sizzle. No one has talked about it. But the Chicago Bulls put in a solid game and a 122 victory over a 114 victory over the Sacramento Kings. Decisive win. I mean, really good win. We had Zach Levine, who wasn't doing much. He put up decent numbers, decent numbers. But, he didn't go for like 50, 60. He only went for a little bit. He went for 38 and 4. And then, okay, so that was Bulls over Kings, right?
Yeah.
That's smacky. Then, you know what they come back and do, Jay Sizzle?
What's that?
They come back again and slap the Rockets. Oh, my goodness. They came back and put it on the Rockets by 20. They gave them I don't know what that was, but they gave it to them. And you know who did the hard work? The double-double. The man of the hour, COBY WHITE, with 24 points and 10 rebounds. Jay, are you seeing a new great player in Chicago in COBY WHITE?
No.
Yeah?
No. They're beating teams they should beat who are depleted. The Rockets, that wasn't a Rocket. They were a sparkler. Okay? There's nobody left on that team. Wow. Are we happy because they beat the Rockets by a 20 ball? Like, come on, are we serious right now? The Bulls are still below 500. They're
Yes.
Are they going to make the playoffs? Yeah, because of the new format, every team is going to make the playoffs in the NBA this year. It's like hockey. So, yeah. Are the Bulls playing better? Yes, they are. They got both their two guards playing well. We're still looking for a point guard. I don't think either one of those guys, one of the two guys are not going to be on this roster next year. They're playing pretty well. I like Thaddeus Young. It's holding it down like it should be. The old school guys are playing real well. You even see Wendell Carter Jr. playing well. He's getting physical in the inside. The question is, can the Bulls sustain this good play that they have right now? Because it's not great play. It's not great play until you beat these teams who have a above 500 record. When you start whacking teams like that, then I'll start jumping up and down. But you're just beating the Rockets. But, however, that's a team you should beat by 20. And you did. So let's see what happens after the All-Star break.
It's a great thing. You were getting ready to talk about the All-Star break, but let's go back to that game. Even though they did what they were supposed to do, held court, you still got a Wendell Carter who gave you 18 and 13, which you should do. Congratulations to you. Kudos to you. Now, I know you don't like the production that you're getting out of Pat Williams, but you got 14 points, 7 rebounds, and it's something about Thaddeus Young Johnson. He just can't get that double-double. He was close, baby. He was close at 17 and 8. He was almost there, almost gave you that double-double. But they put in the work. But I think the biggest thing is, as you said, you beat the teams you can beat. You let those teams that you can't beat, you let them go on by the wayside. But that's not even the biggest news. I mean, but we are talking about COBY. We have to give the young man his kudos for for getting a double-double. But the news of the day, Jay, have you heard it? Are you ready for it?
Sure. What is it?
Zach Levine to the All-Star game.
Oh, he made the reserves. He made the reserves.
Hey, making a reserve team is better than making no team serve. He made something. I don't really know. But he did it.
To tell you the truth, though, I didn't think he was going to make the ball club. I really didn't. But his play the last week or so, I think really what took him over the top. He's been extra aggressive, and I'm hoping that when he gets in his game, that he shows up and shows out. This is the time right now for Zach Levine to show that he belongs in the upper echelon of the NBA. And before long, he needs to get paid that way. So we're waiting to see what Zach Levine's going to do in this game. I think he is one of the high risers that we have seen in the league in a long time. But now his handle has become a lot better. Zach Levine, I know he says in his commercial that he was outside shooting 500 jumpers with his dad every night. I think his dad took him out in the backyard and had him dribbling because his handles are nice. He's been getting to the basket. He's been using a lot of Euro steps lately, which I like to see that he's attacking. He's being offensive, and he's playing well on the defensive side of the ball. It's a good overall well-rounded game that he's got going on now. And right now, he's playing really good. Can he play up to superstar status? We're going to find out after the All-Star break because that's when he needs to shine so that he can get the Chicago Bulls not only into the playoffs, but possibly have an opportunity to win a series.
Well, let's talk about the Chicago Bulls and those players who've been there. It has been since 2017 that the Chicago Bulls fans have been treated to an all-star, and that was Jimmy Butler in his last all-star appearance. But let's do a little comparison here. Let's do a little mixing and matching. Let's look at the first all-star nomination for Derrick Rose in 2010, and this being Zach Levine's first nomination in 2021. Now, D Rose that year in 2010 was putting up 25, 4, and 7, compared to Zach Levine this year putting up 28, 5, and 5. Derrick Rose shooting a respectable 44% from the field. Zach Levine shooting 51% from the field. Derrick Rose shooting 33% from three. Zach hitting 43, and Derrick Rose is giving you 85% at the free throw line, and Zach is giving you a hair over 86, almost 87%. So comparable numbers. Really, I think the two things that stand out for me would be the points per game at 28 and the ability to have 51% from the field. That means my man is hitting almost everything he's throwing up, at least half of it. We can say he's halfway throwing up everything and he's halfway hitting everything else. So from that perspective, when you look at this and you look at the comparisons, no one has put together the kind of season Zach Levine has had since 2011, 2010. What is it, Jay, that outside of the handles and outside of the work he put in the offseason, what is it right now that Zach Levine is showing you that says that this isn't just a flash in the pan, that he'll be back in the All-Star game maybe next season or some seasons to come?
Well, I think what Zach Levine said is absolutely true. He plays angry. And you're seeing a guy who's, lack of better words, a little PO'd, that he is getting passed over as him not being one of the top players in the East. The problem is that the East is loaded. And going down from everybody in his position, there's a whole lot of people playing top flight basketball in the East at his position. Now, he made the reserves. Let's see what he's going to do. But I really believe right now there's a lot of pride going on with Zach Levine. He did fight his way back after that knee injury. He has been leading a haphazard Chicago Bulls team that finally looks like it might be turning the corner. We're going to see here when it get after the All-Star break and they actually have to start playing some teams that actually mean something. Then we'll see what this team does. If they can get above 500 on the back end stretch and run into the playoffs in the 7th seed, it's possible, because I tell you, if they're in the 8th seed, they're going to get whacked by the Bucks. But if it's possible, if they can get past that 8th seed and get to the 7th seed, then you might see a Bulls team that might actually surprise somebody, because when they're playing well, they're tough to beat.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that we can look at, and we can say, if you look at the Bulls right now, they have a chance to pull to 500. They've got the Timberwolves tomorrow. Then they have the Suns on Friday, and their hard test will be Sunday against the Raptors. And then another hard test, they are the back-to-back where they'll meet the Nuggets on Monday. But then next week, they'll also have the Pels on next Wednesday. So they have a tough stretch. But out of this stretch, if they can come out of this stretch at 500 or somewhere around there, I think they'll be on pace to get that last at 8th, 7th, 8th seed. But I think really you want to be in that 6th seed. You want to come out of that 7th and 8th seed. You want to move up a little bit further. And I was encouraged a little bit with what I saw against when they played. It's not great, but the Clippers, they tried to hang there. And it got a little ugly. Now the Pels, they put the foom fops on them. So I was great with that. My concern was when they played the 76ers. Not that they weren't looking good and not that they didn't hang in the game long enough, but you gave up 50 to Joel Embiid. You gave him a career night, and it shows you that Wendell Carter, again, from his rookie season all the way to now, he gets molested and abused by Joel Embiid on a consistent basis. Under the basket, near the basket, outside of the basket, on the sidelines, in the office hallways, on the bus, anywhere he can. I think Joel Embiid just goes and he abuses poor Wendell Carter. And it's nothing they can do. It is nothing, God knows. I wanted to call somebody to help him. It's nothing that can be done. So I'm concerned there. Whichever those top 3 teams you're going to face, you get into those lower seeds, I don't think the Bulls have enough firepower. But maybe it's just a great thing that you get in.
No.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you get experience. I don't know.
That's enough of that thinking, I think, to tell you the whole truth, is because the Bulls should be better than what they are. The Bulls should be better than what they are. It's just been John Paxson and Gar Forman's handprints are all over this team, that now you have the new Bulls administration on the basketball side having to go in here and do a patchwork on a team that should be much better than what it is. If you look at this ball club, you say, well, who are your leaders? Now, we see Zach Levine, because he's been attacking the basket. He's been giving you 31 points in the last 8 games. He's been playing superiorly well. You look at COBY White, who has found out that he can shoot a jumper, and if he scores more points than the guy who he's guarding who scores against him, it's a winning night. And they have been able to put together a solid bench mob with old man Temple out there, with Thaddeus Young, who probably should be starting in the league somewhere. But here's the issue with the Bulls. You just hit on it. What happens when they get into the playoffs and now you got to play any of those top 6 teams in the East, where you have to play the 76ers where you don't have a chance, where you have to play the Nets and you don't have a chance, when you have to play the Bucks and you don't have a chance, when you have to play the Pacers, you should have a chance, but you're not going to have a chance. And then you got the Raptors and the Celtics after that. Do you think the Bulls are going to beat any one of these teams in a 3 or 5 game series? No, I don't think so, because I don't think they have the pedigree to hold it down, because they haven't been there before. They haven't been there where they had a chance to move up in the East. This is really a what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a shame that you had talent on this club that you traded for, that you got Zach Levine in here, and you didn't put the people around him that you needed. That somehow you played well enough to be picking 7th. And what have those 7th round picks, that 7th pick done for you? You've got you get COBY White at 7, right? You got Wendell Carter Jr. at 7, right? And then you got a pick at number 4 that is not as good as either one of the 2 7 picks. And and everybody talks about, well, he's coming along, he's still a young fella. He's still picked number 4. He's picked number 4, and he's an afterthought. He's not going to help you in the playoffs. So every time I see, he hit a jump shot, yay. So it's it's just a situation where the Bulls have not been, given what they need to win. And I don't think in this Eastern Conference they're going to win it anyway, especially now that you got the Nets playing like they're playing. I mean, the only hope is that James Harden doesn't get mad and actually start trying to play some offense. Because if he ever starts trying to play the offense, the Nets might be unbeatable.
Yeah, well, let's look at this All-Star reserve. Now, the All-Star game is going to be Sunday, March 7th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard on TNT. But let's just look at the East reserves. Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Zach Levine, Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, and Nikola Vucevic. Do you see anything that you don't like on that for the East right now, Jay?
No, I like it all. All that sounds solid.
Okay.
Tell you, I am surprised, to tell you the truth, that Zach Levine made this ball club. Mm-hmm. I really am. I thought he's going to be left off just because you got to fit James Harden in there. And there's a couple other players that you could fit in there also, but he played well enough and got everybody's attention, and he got himself in. He was hot when he needed to be.
So let's look at the West on their reserve squad. You've got Anthony Davis, Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, and Zion Williamson. Is there somebody out of that mix that you think is missing on the West? Because there's a lot of chatter about one player in Phoenix who's not there. But I think this is a solid West lineup. Is there somebody maybe you could see who could replace somebody? I am shocked that Zion Williamson is there, even though having a great career or career numbers this season. I'm really shocked that Zion's there. I mean,
isn't this the fan vote? Isn't this the fan vote? The vote?
No, I thought this was the coach vote for the reserves.
Is it the coach vote for the reserves? Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just for the cachet that Zion Williamson. I don't think he's really done enough to be on the All-Star team, to tell you the honest truth. I didn't see him really. I mean, he played well, but you didn't see him just be super dominant for an extended period of time. And that's what I think you need to be on these ball clubs. That's why you probably see the Pels trying to move Alonzo Ball right now, because they feel that Zion Williamson is not getting the ball in the right spot to be effective. Something's going on there, because Zion is as dominant of an athlete as he is. He hasn't really been ultra dominant on the basketball court, where he's just going to get 35 anytime he feels like it. So, and Zion's one of those guys who should be doing that. So we'll wait and see what happens with Zion and the Pels. I thought they were going to play a lot better this year. It doesn't look like they're going to. Looks like Lonzo Ball's not going to be moving yet. Haven't seen it. But I was surprised that he actually made the reserves. I thought he should have been left off this year, because I don't think he's really been playing at all-star status.
You know, when I'm looking at the West reserves, I see Zion there, and I'm not surprised that Devin Booker isn't on this all-star team. I don't know how you could justify Damian Lillard not being on the reserves. I thought Damian Lillard has done enough to be a starter. But when you look at Donovan Mitchell having a career year, maybe Chris Paul might be the one. I think he got the elder statesman vote, being the 11-time All-Star. I think maybe that was his ode to, hey, good work there, buddy. Now, I would question maybe Paul George. Paul George might be the only one, even though with decent numbers. I'm not convinced they're all-star numbers for this season. But other than that, I don't really see anybody that really strikes me as, wow, there was a really big snub that was left off of the all-star team. So I don't know. I'm not mad at the team. I'm just like, meh, okay. Doc Rivers will be coaching for the East, and you've got Quinn Snyder who will be coaching for the West. You know, Doc Rivers will have Team Durant, and then Quinn Snyder will have Team LeBron. So, okay. I mean, we could throw up some people. You could throw up Trae Young, Domantas Sabonis. I mean, there are some people you could say, okay, they should have been there over other people. But I still thought last year Zach did a lot to have got himself into position. Maybe he didn't do enough to get him over the hump. But this year, I think he's done enough to at least be deserving of one of those spots. So I'm not mad at Zach Levine on the All-Star team. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, because red Kool-Aid is fire and is flame, and I like it.
It's like on the West reserves. It's like you have, is that Anthony Davis up there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's injured. Now, just because you're injured doesn't mean that you get an all-star status, but he's definitely not going to be part of the game. So why not fill that position with one of these guys that could actually play in the basketball game? I thought that was something that they should do. But I know these guys, these all-star nominations are a big deal for their contracts. So that's why you see a lot. That's why you see a lot of these guys being in. That's why I think you see a James Harden, who's only played 4 games in the East, and all of a sudden he's an all-star in the East. I'm not understanding that one either. So
I think that's kind of amazing. That's amazing. But again, you get the call. But I'm not that. If you tell me that Paul Pierce will be swapped out for Devin Booker, maybe I'm Paul Pierce. Good grief.
I was about to go, wow. Wow.
Wow. If Paul Pierce makes it into the All-Star game, I'll know this thing is real. There's something going on here, buddy. Now, Paul George, if he doesn't make it because he's hurt, okay. But like DeMar DeRozan, maybe Mike Conley, because Mike Conley's been holding it down. De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram, maybe, okay. I see more snubs on the East than I see on the West.
Yeah.
Now, that's just me. Now, the Zion thing, okay, maybe you got to sell the show a little bit. But other than that, I don't see a lot of, on the West, I don't see a lot of snubs.
So I wonder what the odds are that one of these teams are going to hit 200. Because there's going to be no, I mean, you got regular season games being played, and these teams are scoring 140. And these are supposed to be competitive basketball games. And we know in the All-Star game, except for the last 2, that last fourth quarter, if it's close to actually play. Because what was that, 2 years ago? That was probably the best basketball we've seen.
Right. 2 years ago.
Yeah, so we'll see how it all works out. But it's
I don't know, man. It's all a vanity show. But let's look at this East snub list. You got Trae Young, Bam Adebayo, Chris Middleton, Gordon Hayward, Tobias Harris, Fred VanVleet, and Domantas Sabonis. Now, I could make a case for Sabonis, and I could make a case for Trae Young.
I know. I'm surprised Trae Young doesn't make this ball club.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised about that. So
just off the name alone, I think the name and the fame should put him right there. Chris Middleton, I think, is always deserving. I think he is the centerpiece to that Milwaukee Bucks team.
Brandon Ingram could have been deserving.
Brandon Ingram. Yeah. Now, Gordon Hayward, if you tell me Gordon Hayward, I'm punching you in the face. Tobias Harris has played better this season, but I'm not feeling that. And Fred VanVleet might be the open.
You talking about, you like Pretty? That's a beautiful man right there.
No, I like it. I like it raw. I like it ugly. I like it. I like it. Why must I be like that?
You ain't chasing the cat. I'm definitely. If you're not chasing the cat, there, sir.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'll give it up to VanVleet. I'll give it up to the little old the Atlanta kid. We got to come up with a name for Trae Young, like the whisper hair wonder.
They just call him nasty, because every game he does something nasty. You go, ooh, you should have did him like that. You should have did him like that. You should have shook him, then shook yourself. He had to pick himself off the floor and start dribbling again. He's so good. He just got a nasty handle, a nasty jump shot, and he's one of those guys though. But he's an ISO type of ball player. That's a problem. So.
But there's one thing you can't call him right now, Jay, and that's an all-star.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
He's not that.
Yeah.
He's not that at all. So, I don't know who likes the basketball gods, who doesn't like it, but I'm just happy Zach LaVine's there. And maybe if you get enough double-doubles from COBY White, maybe in a few years he'll be there too. It's like working salad, and then he's moving up to fries. And that's where the big money comes in.
That's where the big money comes in.
Oh yeah, he'll be ready. He'll be ready. And I don't think anybody on this Bulls squad outside of Zach Levine is going to be there. I really don't. I swear to God.
Yeah, and that's the problem right now. You don't see Wendell Carter Jr. breaking into the East All Stars. You don't see COBY White breaking into the East All Stars. You don't see any other guys you could say on the Bulls right now going, yeah, that guy's going to make the All Star game. No, no. Zach Levine barely made it in. I think he was just a coach's choice because he's played himself well. And, he deserved it. But did he deserve it over Trae Young? Don't know.
Meh. It's a meh. You know what is funny? Somebody asked me today. It was a question, who's your favorite Chicago Bear? And I actually sat there for a minute and I was stumped. Like, I don't have a favorite Chicago Bear. Shout out to Khalil Mack, though. Happy birthday, Khalil, number 52. Do your thing. Happy birthday to you. But I don't have a favorite Bear. Like, my favorite Bears aren't Bears anymore. So I don't have a favorite Bear. Now, when you ask me about the Bulls, my favorite Bull right now is Zach Levine. That's it.
Well, okay. So now
Billy Donovan.
When you say your favorite Bear, are we talking about future, past,
Not
present?
all time. No. Right now. Right now, who's your favorite Chicago Bear?
Wow, that's hard. That's a good question.
It is. It's an excellent question because I couldn't come up with an answer.
Yeah, I'm about like that too. I really can't think of a favorite Bear. Then I go, wow.
I thought chicken salad, but I was like, he's not my favorite. Most probably electric. What's crazy is I was thinking my favorite Bear right now might be a returner or a kicker.
Who, Cordero?
Yeah. He might be my favorite Bear right now.
I don't know.
Any man that can run upright with a gold rope choker around his neck and still make the play is my guy.
I've always been waiting for him to just get flat blasted. Get you know what I'm saying? Just get rocked like Christian Okoye. And just shut down the rest of his career.
Just retire off the field.
Christian Okoye was never the same after that.
No. It was the Nigerian Nightmare stopped that hit. It was no longer Nightmare. It was more like the Nigerian Massacre. And by the way, just like my little cousin, hey man, can you tell Tiger Woods to stop driving, please?
Oh man, when I first heard the news, I was like, oh, Tiger Woods been in a crash. I was like, oh, then immediately, I really didn't think about Kobe at that point because it wasn't reported that Tiger was in a fatal crash.
Right. He wasn't dead.
He wasn't dead. Right. So I wasn't thinking about that so much. I was just thinking, man, what was he driving? Was he driving it? Was that a Bentley truck? Was that the Bentley truck that he was driving?
Oh, baby, that's that new Genesis, the GV. I'm gonna have to get me one of those Genesis.
No, I'm gonna not have to get one of those Genesis. You talking about you do a crash off the road and you broke up Tiger Woods' legs? I mean,
he's still alive. Could have been in an American vehicle and been gone.
I don't know. It looked like some rollover was happening right there. Unless he hit something head on at 60 miles an hour, which is a possibility. But
he hit a curb and he hit a tree.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, man. They make those. If those F1 racers get split nearly in half, and those guys walk out of it, and if you put the right type of seat around that cabin area, you shouldn't get that damage to your feet like that. And
let's talk about it real quick. We got about 2-3 minutes to talk about it. Multiple compound fractures in the leg.
That's not bad. That's coming through the skin.
And crushed up ankle.
Yeah.
What type of impact will this have on Tiger moving forward?
He was barely moving forward with back problems. I mean, he was hoping that he was going to make the make a tournament this year. I think we've seen the last of Tiger, Eldridge Woods being a competitive golfer, because you're talking, if you have multiple compound fractures, you're probably talking 18 months until he's able to actually swing a club again. Just because how hard he swings it, he's all lower body, And so now he has
to,
so he has to all retrain himself. He has to retrain a new swing, retool a new swing. Is he going to look like Lee Trevino out there now when he's just throwing the club from the hip, basically? So I think we see the last of Tiger Eldridge Woods as a golfer. I think he's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be a commentator or anything like that, because Tiger Woods is not really the most likable guy in the world. He's just not.
But he's still great, Jay.
Of course
he's still a Hall of Famer. He still belongs there.
Of course he does. Just like Terrell Owens does.
Yeah,
and not Cam Newton. But Tiger.
At least Cam Newton hasn't rolled over a vehicle twice, 3 times
that you know of. But I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing in Tiger Woods' defense. Okay, did Tiger Woods eat babies or something, or what was his discretion that he had that was every time they talk about Tiger Woods, they have to keep bringing it up?
Mm-hmm.
I think he cheated on his wife. Was that it?
In fact, I saw somebody today that said, I'm praying for Tiger. Hope all goes well, even though he made a mistake. Name me one person on this planet that hasn't made a mistake.
And hold
Just
on.
name one.
Right. And let me get this off my chest right quick.
Okay. Something's burning your biscuits.
How much money did his ex-wife walk away with?
Billions.
300 billion she walked away with. For doing what?
Being a babysitter? I don't know.
A babysitter. Did she build the company? Did she crack an atom? Did she fly on the space shuttle? Any of that? No. She was just married to a super wealthy guy who she knew that these women were coming after him a mile a minute. Did she not think that other women, she hit after Tiger Woods? Wasn't she the maid at some point in time?
Well,
or the nanny sitter?
Somebody will say she was a nanny, and somebody will say, well, she was in the right place. She deserves it. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, great. I mean, it was all great and gravy. The Eldridge Woods' great mistake was not the infidelity. His great mistake was getting married in the first place.
Not prepared. Without taking care of who allowed Tiger Woods, what person on his financial team, none of those guys told him to get an agreement? I mean,
A lot of them said it. Because he didn't talk to his father because he said it. But see, and now this goes back. Let me get this off my chest. Because it's like, because Kobe's dead, you can't make any Kobe references. Maybe you don't want to be as crass as Gayle King. But when you look at a situation where your parents are trying to put you up on game or trying to warn you, I don't think it's good business in any situation to go into a marriage or any other kind of business arrangement without some type of legal documentation.
Yeah.
A prenup or something up. Some kind of something in writing. Again, Tiger Woods' biggest mistake was Tiger Woods didn't handle his business well, and therefore it ended up in what it ended up.
You know what his biggest mistake was? And I hate to say it like this, but it's just the truth. He believed that she wasn't going to do him any harm.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He just believed she was never going to turn on him. Because this wasn't the first indiscretion out there. Don't come on. It's Tiger Woods. I mean, number one. I mean, this guy, wherever he goes, there's temptation when he gets off of the plane waiting for him at every airport, at every golf center that he goes to, walking down. He can't walk down the street. This guy can't walk down the street without having women throwing themselves at him. Now, I don't care what type of man you think you are out there, but if you have temptations thrown at you on a regular basis, sometimes it make you go, I'm just keeping it, what the kids say, keep it at 100. I'm just keeping it 100. All right, no man out here is perfect. Now, did he go out here and have this indiscretion with this other woman? Yes, he did. Was it wrong? Absolutely correct. Should the sanctity of marriage always be adhered to? Yes. But are we just going to keep persecuting him for that one sin? I mean, every time, as soon as you heard the man's got multiple, that means his legs, the bones were coming through his skin where you have compound fractures. And the first thing that you can come out of your mouth, oh, well, Tiger had an accident. Oh, and by the way, he cheated on his wife. So, that debacle of that situation. No, the problem was with Tiger that he's been living in a fishbowl all of his life. He's been on TV since he was 2.5 years old, playing golf. His father made him into the golfer that he is today. He's never able to be a regular individual. And when he had a young man's problems, because what Tiger Woods was having was young man problems. You saw him at 45 getting his old man on because you ain't got the energy to be running around here chasing these chicks like this. But Tiger Woods, as a young guy, was having young guy problems. There's not a young guy out there that haven't had young guy problems before. His stuff just got splashed all the way across the papers. And it cost him, I want to say, what was it? I can't even say the word. Was it 300 billion, something like that, something crazy?
It cost him billions. And let me say this while we're getting off burning biscuits. Now, Tiger Woods' dad, Venus Williams' father, they're terrible men. Even the Ball brothers, their dad's a horrible person because they pushed them and had a dream, just like Joe Jackson. He's a terrible person.
Oh, absolutely correct. I'm with you on that 1,000%.
He's a horrible person. But then I was reading an article about the freedom now of Kim Kardashian, now that she's not Kim West, and now she can be free. But her mom wasn't a terrible person to push them the way she did.
Right. To make videos, to push a video out of their daughter having sex. And she didn't use that video to help perpetuate the brand of the Kardashians. Of course, It was calculated, but you don't see anybody coming back. And now you see Kim Kardashian now because she's out trying to get people released from prison, which is a good thing. But let's look at those indiscretions back in the day, and she doesn't get crucified every time something goes on. You got people right now talking about, oh girl, I gotta get away from Kanye West. Well, hold up, wait a minute. Once you went out there in the videos.
Wait a minute, wasn't Kanye West the person who got you into the Met Gala? Before you were with Kanye West in 2012, they told him he couldn't even bring you. That's why he had to come solo. And you couldn't come into 2012 because you were a +1, because the Met had a rule against celebrity, those TV celebrities coming in.
Yeah.
But it was Kanye's money that got you into fashion.
Right. And that's my whole thing about it is that these women piggyback on these guys' success. Now, don't get it twisted. The Kardashians were hustling. They were out there hustling. They were getting their Rick Ross on. They were trying to get their money. Kudos to them. You know, they wore poor Bruce Jenner out there. He just had to become Caitlyn because he couldn't take it anymore. You know what I'm saying? It was just a man can't make it. That shows you a man can't make it around the Kardashian women when a man who is a world icon and Olympic champion decides to throw all that away, lays on the ground, trying to eat a cheeseburger when he's drunk, and next thing you know, he's a 38 double D.
You know, with that said, I'm going to close the show with just saying this. In the great words of the melanated African-American singer, because this is still Black History Month.
That's a lot to come out of your mouth with.
It is. Let's leave you with the words of Christopher Brown when he says, these whores aren't loyal.
Wow.
So that's your show for the day. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, liked, and shared to the Sizzle, you can find us anywhere. The Skrizzle. When we talk about these Skrizzles.
That's when it gets ghetto. We the Skrizzle.
With the Skrizzle. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you like my brother always said, and rest in peace to my brother. let me tell you something. These are scoochies out here.
Man,
all right?
man.
And you better be careful with these scoochies out here in the
Protect
streets.
yourself,
That's
man.
all I'm telling you.
Protect yourself, all you guys. And ladies, protect yourself. If you own some coins and you got Pretty Ricky slide up on you, man, pull the paper out. Make sure they sign on the dotted line. Protect yourself. But
Naomi Osaka, protect yourself because they're coming. I know they're coming, boo. They are coming. Oh man, it's out there. These women, they're coming out there for these ladies. Yeah. So ladies, protect yourself. If I were your father, I'd tell you the same thing. If I were your big brother, your cousin, protect yourself. Make sure your business is straight.
Yeah.
Get you together and get everything square. Just like you should get your business together and go over here and subscribe to the Sizzle.
You should.
The Talk of the 219. Let me tell you something. All you have to do is find us at Iron Skillet Sports. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, IG. Man, you can find us anywhere. Facebook. You can even find us on Messenger. If you want to find us at the Sizzle, we got our own little talk group.
We do.
Talk about stuff like this all day. All you got to do is find us.
Yeah.
And if you want us on podcasts, you can always find us. Hashtag Iron Skillet Sports 219. That way you can find us at any time. And on the weekends, every Sunday, we're rocking the house at Hook and Reel in Country Club Hills. We do our thing. You should be there because we'll be there. And everybody who's there has a wonderful time.
They do.
And remember, we social distance. And we keep it, you know what we carry? Handy Sandy. We're always there. We've got Handy Sandy. We're social distance. And we're feeling good. And we're masked up.
That's his new DJ name, Handy Sandy. And we're not DJs.
Handy Sandy.
We're not DJs.
We're DJs. We're DJs part-time because we have it. See, so right here, you got your N95, you got your Handy Sandy. We do the thing. We get it in.
Yeah. So, hey, come on out and have a good time with you guys, man. We're having fun. Hit the subscribe button. We got to get this channel moving. We got videos for you all the way up and down the line. We talk a little bit about everything, and a lot of times it's funny. So, hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, just get on and tell your friends that the Sizzle Brothers are still good. We ain't going nowhere. We're uploading 4 or 5 times a week. That's what we do. We're up in the middle of the night right now getting this out, and I got to get up out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. But we're still out here making it work for you because we love you guys.
I salute you, brother, and I salute everybody who's a fan. You know what it is. You know who it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television, and we will see you on the other side.
Man, I'm still a pirate.